Hey everyone, so a few months back I started a small series on my LinkedIn where I share the devlogs of the 3D rendering engine that I'm building from scratch. But since the past 2 months I haven't posted any update on that engine. That's primarily because me along with my group leader and the rest of the team members, we were busy building this 3D rendering engine for web browser. Just like how Three.js and Babylon.js are 3D rendering libraries written from scratch for browsers, we also tried to do something similar. And all of this was a part of a group project that we did for Astromedicom's WebGL demo. So we created a demo around 7 to 8 minutes that has various scenes. This is one of the scenes. You can see that there is a town scene here and there is this bike, a house. Inside that house you'll see a delivery boy looking into the mirror. His daughter is sleeping, and here he has a pending order. But coming back to what our engine can do, on the top right side you can see there is a small user interface, and this user interface is powered by dat GUI. It's a very lightweight and easy to use UI library. We didn't want to spend a lot of time on the user interface side of things. That's why just to debug this engine we built a small UI, but rest of the things are all written from scratch. Let me show you the features of this engine. First, some very basic features like you can obviously increase and decrease the FOV of your camera. You can move it, you can change the speed of the camera, it moves super fast. Then there are a bunch of splines here. All these lines that you are seeing right in the air, all of these are splines along which your camera or any object can move. I can select which spline I want to follow, and again our camera can move on that spline. So let's change the spline, and you can see that the camera moves along each spline and seamlessly it switches. So the moment I change the spline, it seamlessly switches. Then you also have this huge scene graph where we have listed all the objects that are there in this scene. So there is this Hero Honda bike. Let's try to change its transform. Just by dragging the UI I can change the bike position. Just like the bike, I can change rest of the objects as well. Right now my bike is hanging in the air. Similarly, you can see all these splines which are here, right? I can select any spline and I can modify it. You can see how the points of these splines are getting modified, right? How the spline is modified as I'm dragging this. Then I also have a fog menu which allows me to enable or disable fog. So it's a depth based fog. So you can see as I move closer, you'll see that the objects start to appear clearer, right? If I just make it fully black, it feels like a midnight scene, right? And I can increase the density as well for the fog. So right now the density is high. If I move closer, you can see that the objects start to become clearer, right? So right now my bike is in the air, you cannot see it, but if I move closer to it, you'll see that the bike appears. So this is a fog. We can modify the fog color to make it look like a morning scene, night scene, and then lighting as well. I can change the intensity, I can change the color as well. All of the computation is happening on shaders. Then I have an ambient light as well, of which I can reduce the intensity. And then you can see that there are a lot of spotlights in the scene as well. And then a bunch of post-processing settings like, let's say, God rays. So I can enable and disable the God rays. I can change the direction of the God rays, right? Similarly, there is vignette. I can increase, decrease the vignette, and some basic color grading options. Since the time I started working with computer graphics and game engines, it has always been a dream of mine to build 3D engines from scratch, to understand how all these computer graphics algorithms work under the hood. I'm very happy that through the demos that we get to do, I'm getting a chance to implement all these algorithms from scratch without using any external libraries. And I would like to give all the credit to my teacher, my guru, Dr. Vijay D. Gokhale sir, who has been an amazing source of inspiration for me and for many students out there. So the last 3 devlogs that I had posted were for a fixed function pipeline engine that I had written for Windows. This one is a programmable pipeline engine. And now again, I'm also working on a cross-platform engine about which I'll share very, very soon. Very happy that I'm getting to do all this stuff.